Hello everyone, my name is Dustin Price, and today we're talking about a comparison of Apple and Microsoft from the standpoint of an investor. So you're looking to invest in one of these two companies, and we're investigating which one would be the better decision. They're both hugely popular and profitable technology companies. They've both been around relatively the same amount of time. They've took a similar arc from when they were first began, and then in the 90s with the tech boom, they've come up and then really expanded and grown over the past 20 or so years, especially Apple. So we're going to look at that here in the next following slide. So as I stated a minute ago, both of these companies were founded roughly the same time. So we got Microsoft in 1975, and Apple was founded in 1976, not long after. They're both were pioneering companies as far as when it comes to the technology that they were pursuing. So Apple with Apple computers, Microsoft with software mostly. Microsoft has 135,000 employees or so. Apple sits at about 147,000, so again similar in number of employees. Microsoft's CEO is Satya Nadella, and Apple's is Tim Cook. Microsoft is a software and infrastructure based company. So software for computers and applications, as well as some infrastructure for especially cloud computing now. That's one of their big pushes that they're into. And then Apple is more consumer electronics. So your iPhones, your iPads, your MacBooks, that's what we have here on the slide. And you'll see that's their main stuff. You'll see that come back up again. For Microsoft, Windows operating system has been around for 30 something years now. We're on Windows 10 and working on Windows 11, and it's been wildly successful, almost to the point of running everybody else out of business with it. Office 365 used to be the old Office suite. Now Office 365 is a cloud software program, so that is Word and Excel and Access. And then Azure is their cloud computing solutions for that other businesses come to them for and pay for cloud computing solutions from them. For Microsoft's market position and growth potential, as far as current market position, they are the largest software company in the world. Microsoft Windows is everywhere. Windows Office 365, the cloud-based Office suite, is used just about everywhere in schools, businesses. Um, and as far as growth potential goes, they're not typically the most innovative company. They have been with cloud computing. Uh, so in the recent past, they may not have been all that innovative, but with the cloud computing, they have been. And they are also the leader, and that's allowed them to take a leadership position in cloud computing and cloud computing solutions. For Apple, they're just the highest value technology company. Period. There is nobody else close. They're number one right now. Just from iPhones and iPads and MacBooks and Apple Watches and everything that they offer, people love them. They eat them up. So they are the highest value technology company at the moment. Going for them as far as growth potential goes, have been historically a very innovative company. They push the envelope, come up with new ideas, and they generally work out for them. Sometimes they don't, but generally they do. And also, they're just an iconic brand at this point, and people buy Apple because they have bought Apple before, and they will stay with Apple. For the ability to compete between these two companies, first want to look at the points of contention, where they're actually competing at. So Microsoft and Apple compete mainly, or they directly compete on laptops would be one thing. So Microsoft Surface and Apple MacBooks. Another competing product they have would be Microsoft tablets, any Microsoft tablets that are out there, and then Apple's iPads. They also have competing operating systems on these products, so Microsoft's Windows and Apple's iOS. Leading competitors for these companies other than each other would be, for Microsoft's, Oracle. They're another software and cloud computing specialist company that, they're very similar to Microsoft in the fact that they are a software company. They both engage in software as a service. That's the SaaS there on the slide. And that is a ongoing service you pay for the software, and they just continually update the software instead of coming out with it iterationally, year after year. Apple's main competition, again, depends on which business segment you're going to look at. So if you say you're looking at the iPhone, it's going to be Samsung. Samsung's is the next biggest phone manufacturers. They actually sell more phones than Apple does, but Apple makes more money doing it. They're more profitable with their iPhone business. Here we can see in the financial analysis, we can see Microsoft and Apple's performance over the past 5 years in revenue and net income. Currently, as far as stock prices go, Apple's stocks are going for about $133, $134 per share, and then Microsoft is roughly double that at $267 or so per share. You can see a general trend over the past 5 years for Microsoft in the revenue and net, as well as net income, generally rising over that time period. The year-to-year change over last year was roughly 14% in revenue and 13% in net income, which is significantly more than Apple's. In Apple's case, the revenue has been roughly the same over the past 3 years, as well as their net income. And while still good, it's not quite as high over the year-to-year change in revenue and net income at roughly 5.5% and 4%. In recent news for both of these companies, over the past 2 years, really, with coronavirus, Microsoft Teams has become a very highly used application in companies and businesses worldwide. Also, they have gotten with GM and Cruise vehicles and are looking into research on driverless vehicles. They're getting into competition with Tesla there a little bit. As far as Apple goes, they've just come out with iOS 15, so a new operating system, which is supposed to be more geared for productivity. So such as how Office 365 is a productivity suite, iOS 15 is supposed to have some improvements to make it compete better with that. They also have Apple TV 4K coming out just recently, and the M1 processor has been a huge hit for them with their MacBooks and new iPhones and iPads. Also, as of yesterday, Microsoft joined Apple in the $2 trillion club as far as market value goes. So they're only the second company in America to have a market valuation over $2 trillion. With all that said, I believe that you can't really go wrong with either one of these companies, but as far as comparing them to each other, going with Apple, since they have the higher valuation, they're a more innovative company. They typically have more growth. They've continually grown since the mid-2000s. Would be your best bet in an investment situation.